Welcome to the Unscripted Journey podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia Schoen. Around here, we believe in living life on purpose, not by permission. Each week, we'll talk real growth, fresh starts, and bold steps to create a life that's true to you. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's take this journey together. What's up, my friend? I am so glad that you're here with me today on the Unscripted Journey. Welcome back. This is a place where we talk about life, living life unscripted, living life on our own terms. And I'm so happy that you're here today because today we are going to be talking about the power of visualization. All right, I'm going to be honest. I used to think that visualizing things was fluff. It was New Age, it was weird, but as I started to read about it, it brought me back to when I was a child, sitting in my bedroom, and it was like I had a vision of myself speaking in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. I tell you, it felt so real. I saw myself standing on a stage, talking to hundreds of people in an audience. And I had shared in a previous podcast that I had watched the documentary called The Secret. Basically, The Secret is the law of attraction. And it led me down this rabbit hole. I'm going to be honest. I started looking up law of attraction, visualization, and it may have sounded weird, but it actually turns out there's way more science behind it and power. And so I began to read about it. Now, I want to clarify that visualization is not daydreaming. Visualization is intentionally rehearsing for the future you want. Where daydreaming is you're sitting there and you're hoping, right? And you're wishing. Where visualizing is you're being intentional about the thoughts about your future and the life that you want. So you are kind of putting that into practice when you visualize. So I've read and heard about athletes who rehearse games in their mind, or public speakers walking through their speech mentally, or what have you. Those are all forms of visualization. It helps people succeed. And I want to say that when I started to read about the science piece behind it, I was pretty impressed. So when you visualize an action, your brain activates the same neural pathways that would be engaged if you were actually performing that action. Isn't that wild? Like when you start visualizing something, it activates something in your brain and it makes it feel real. And repeating that action actually strengthens those neural pathways. It's a process known as neuroplasticity, and it makes it easier for your brain to execute the action in reality. So let me simplify it a little bit. Think about building a muscle, right? You go out to the gym, you work out, you're working out your biceps, your triceps. Okay, guys, I'm just naming this because I actually don't go to the gym myself. But the more you exercise, the pathway through visualization, the stronger it becomes. So it's like you're exercising your brain to think about that thing that you want to see yourself do or be in the future. And your mind and your spirit eventually begin to align, because your mind is rehearsing what you're going to live out by faith. And the Bible does say faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It is the evidence of things we cannot see. It is basically, faith is something that we have even when we don't see something, but we strongly believe it in the deepest parts of our core. And there's a difference between the concept from delusion and the denial of reality, honestly. I mean, visualization is not denying what's real in your current situation. Visualization is having faith for the things that have not yet come, but you're hoping for. I began to personally practice this. I visualize the life that I want for me and my husband, the life that I want for my children, what I want for my business, what my healing looks like internally and physically. I intentionally sometimes will even close my eyes. Don't do this while you're driving, my friends. Close my eyes. You can close your eyes and you begin to visualize what your future can look like. I want to also tell you that visualization, it's not just something that you do. It's something that you put into practice. You have to put action behind it. Faith without works is dead. That means that if you don't put something behind it, it's never going to happen. Sometimes we expect things to just come to us and that's it. Oh, I deserve it. Oh, yeah, I visualized this and now, it should come to me. That's not what I'm talking about. And that differs from the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that the more you think about it, the more you're bringing it into your life. And visualization is different than that. Because visualization actually takes action. It's an action step. And the more you start to visualize, like for me personally, I began to feel confident. I began to feel clarity in my thoughts and in the way I speak and in the way I act. I even, you start to feel unexpected doors opening, right? It's you're visualizing the life that you want and you start to act like that. You start to speak like that. You start to be like that. It just becomes part of your total being. And I would love for you to take some time and practice visualization. You can pause this podcast right now, or before you go to bed, you can do it in the morning when you wake up. Maybe you're on your lunch break. I want you to take some time to practice visualization. And I want you, when you're doing that, to take notice of the sights and sounds and emotions and even the small details as if it's happening now. So if you close your eyes, right, I can go back to that vision that I feel like I saw when I was a child, and I literally visualize myself on a stage, even right now, speaking to hundreds of people. I can visualize myself impacting those that I speak to. It becomes such a surreal feeling and experience that there's just, it's an amazing feeling. And I'm going to say this because I always feel that this is the way to do a lot of things when you're thinking about your future and talking about your future. I want you to write it down. Take out your journal. Take out your journal even right now if you are in the position to do so. If you have the opportunity to do so, pull the journal and begin to write what you're visualizing. Pair it with music. Maybe you want to put some spa-like music in the background that's relaxing, something to meditate and pray to. Maybe you need a song that psychs you out and gets you going. Really, like, everybody is different in the way they do things. Do what works for you. Don't do what works for me. Do what works for you. And it doesn't have to be a long exercise. 5 minutes is sufficient. 10 minutes is sufficient. Do it once a day. Do it not when you're in your bed, when you're ready to go to sleep and you close your eyes. Just think and imagine of what your future could be and visualize yourself in that capacity, in that place, in that role, in that life. I don't want you to wait to believe it until you see it. Have some faith. I want you to see it now. I want you to feel it now. And then move like it's already yours. Put that faith into action and move as it is already happening. And this week, I want to invite you to try visualizing and sharing your experience with me. Send me a message. Write a comment on the podcast. Just tell me how your visualization went. Did you see yourself? Did you see your future self? Did you see yourself in a new capacity? Did you actually, in your mind's eye, the way they see it, see what could happen for you? It is not impossible. It is absolutely possible, and I know that you can do it. So I hope that you can practice visualization, visualizing the life you have for yourself and for the ones you love, and that it becomes a daily practice. All right, this is all for now, my friends. I thank you for coming and listening to this podcast today. Don't forget to share it with your friends. And if it's impacted you, leave me a message, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to the Unscripted Journey podcast. If today's episode lit a spark in you, keep that momentum going with the Unscripted Journey Reflection Journal. It's a guided space to help you tune in, take action, and start living life on your terms. It's available now on Amazon. Just click the link in the episode notes. And don't forget, I've got free resources waiting for you over at cynthiashone.com to support your growth between episodes. Until next time, live free, stay unscripted.